Hey, even Stevie Wonder on a roller coaster could have seen this storm brewing. The RBA should have sliced rates in April by 0.25%, but nope, they bottled it. I'm calling it right now. We're staring down at a 0.5% rate cut coming this May. And if the RBA board had even half a backbone left, they'll be smash out emergency cut within the next week or two, because the storm just isn't on the horizon anymore. It's already hammering the shoreline. But let's be real, I reckon the cash rate will drop by at least 2% over the next 18 to 24 months, not because the economy is strong, but because it's about to fall flat on its face. And when that happens, the RBA will scramble to store a technical recession. 2 back-to-back quarters of negative GDP. Keyword here, stall. Not fix, not save, just delay the inevitable. We're already been in a per capita recession for most of the last 2 years. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics ABS, GDP per capita has declined for 7 consecutive quarters. Even though the economy's overall numbers show slight growth, individual prosperity, it's been sliding backwards. Chalmers can spin however he wants, but mate, the worst isn't behind us, not by a bloody long shot. And here's the kicker. Neither side of politics, Labour, Liberal, Greens, Independents, or the rest of the circus can do anything real about fixing the housing supply nationally, because that's the states and local government turf, not federal. What that can mean is that it messes with demand. But demand isn't the problem. Pumping up demand just throws petrol on the bonfire. Meanwhile, housing supply, higher than a tradie's jeans. For sale, barely anything. For rent, scarce. New builds, slower than Centrelink queues. And now, rates will drop. Demand will spike. Investors will flood back into the property like seagulls on a hot chip. Because when there's panic in the economy, Aussies do what Aussies always do best. We dive headfirst into brick and mortar. Even there was some miracle lift in new housing supply, spoiler alert, there won't be, it still wouldn't stop home values and rents from skyrocketing over the next 12 to 24 months. And oh, before I forget, we should actually say thank you to President Trump while we're at it. He's gone and slapped tariffs on China so high, it basically gift wrapped the next rate cycle for Australia. Now here's the real play. Australia's got no leverage to argue with America about tariffs. None. Zip. Nada. Besides, there's not going to be any meaningful discussion with the US until after the federal election anyway. So best we shut up, smile politely, and bid our time. But for context, before Trump's second coming, the global average tariff was about 8%. Today, it's smashed to around 22%. That's protectionism tripling in the space of a week. But I will put money on this. Within 3 to 6 months, most countries will fold. They'll do backdoor handshake deals and bring tariffs back closer to that 8% range, because no one wants to be left out of the US market. But anyway, guys, enough about the yank. Back to us. What should we actually focus on? I reckon stuff that we can actually control. For example, energy, taxation, defense, domestic security, spending, immigration, productivity, and relations with our closest neighbors, the Kiwis. And very carefully balancing China for trade and the US for defense. And the real issue here at the moment, Australia desperately needs some tough love and a long-term vision. We need a prime minister with the guts to lay out a 20-year plan and stick to it. Instead, we got federal elections, we got spin, photo ops, more debt, and no real leadership. We're sliding towards an imperial world. Trading blocks, alliance of mates, nationalism rising, risk of recession climbing. But if geopolitics gets even nastier, cargo ships hijacked, flight paths restricted, pirate economics, major wars, possible depression. Yet even with all that madness, America will probably still come out on the top. Why? Because America's got enough land to feed itself, enough tech to defend itself, 2 friendly neighbors, Canada and Mexico, oceans on either side. If they really wanted to, they could lock the doors, close the curtains, and ride out the apocalypse. Meanwhile, China, they're in serious trouble. They're battling the 4 Ds: debt, deflation, demographics, and Donald Trump.
China!
Those first 3, you can't fix them with a speech. And side note, I might not book a holiday to Beijing anytime soon. I'm not waving a Trump 2025 flag either. I'm agnostic, right? But I might be crapping on Trump, but you know what? At least he's doing something, right? It might work, it might not work. But right now, sitting on your hand is a guaranteed ticket to nowhere. So here's my final take, guys. Australia can store a recession for a bit, but we're running out of runway fast. And the housing market, it's got a rare window for the upside. For example, tight supply, lower rates incoming, demand pressure building, prices and rents will earn. But here's the kicker, and listen close. The window is already closing. My smartest investors, they're not sitting around waiting for a headline to tell them what's coming. They're moving now, refinancing early, unlocking equity, building their war chest, getting ready to strike while everyone else is still scratching their heads. Some are even refinancing at slightly higher rates, not because it's cheaper now, but because they know once the RBA slashes rates and the market FOMOs again, it'll be too late. Because the deals, the discounts, the opportunities, they're there for the people who want to take action right now. And that's what I help my clients do every day. Strategic moves, aggressive positioning, smart asset accumulation through very holistic lending before the masses wake up. If you want to be one of them, if you want real strategy, not just hope and fairy tales, well, reach out. Let's build your war chest, let's stack your portfolio, let's turn this chaos into once in a decade wealth event. Because when the dust settles, guys, there'll only be two types of people left: those who moved and those who missed out. And finally, make sure you're in the right camp. Again, guys, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification for future notifications of these type of videos, and I'll see you in the next property roast.